Welcome to Activations with JJ. I'm your host, JJ Brighton. Join me each week as we co-create a space for healing, alignment, and expansion. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you here. It's been another week and we're just moving along, aren't we, in this world of shifting and world of change. I think it's important for us to have a sense of wonder when it comes to what's going on and to have a sense of curiosity and also just observation, just taking that time to observe. There's so much wisdom in observation and observing and not acting right away, not acting impulsively. I've been trying to do that more in my personal life, and it's actually been really nice. I think we can get really frantic with just the sense that everybody gives us that everything is urgent and everything, it has to be done right away, and there's always an emergency, right? As I start to tap into what we're going to do this week, I just want to remind you to leave a rating and a like if you're watching the video, subscribe. I'm super grateful for those of you who have actually done that. It's so fun to see this little community grow, and I really do feel your energy as we co-create. It's been really fascinating because just from kind of like a world standpoint, like our regular 3D life standpoint, there are so many people out there trying to get your attention, and it's all about who's the most popular, who has the most likes. But I do see how when I kind of just put my vibration out there, that it attracts those of you who resonate with it. And that's what's most important, not to attract everybody and anybody, but to attract those of you who are ready for these activations that we're again co-creating, because I'm just offering them. And if you weren't there to receive them, they would be really, not used for anything. This week was interesting. I ended up going to the thrift store and browsing the book section, which I like to do a lot. I end up in my healing practice having this little stack of books on a bookshelf in my office, and I end up sometimes giving those books away, and my stack is getting low, but every time I give a book away, it is 100% what that person needed. They'll always text me after and say, "Oh my goodness, this is amazing." And it could be a book I haven't read for a while, and I literally just take my hand down that stack and I stop where I feel like I need to pull a book out for them. So I was kind of grabbing some more books to grow that stack again and to grow what my people needed. And I actually found a really cool book that I've never ever heard of before. And I just went to the metaphysical section of the bookstore, right? I just literally went right there. That's what I do. If you're wondering what books I grab, that's what I grab. Anything from Eckhart Tolle. I got something from Wayne Dyer. Just those kinds of books are the ones that I grab, because I always find those people who are ready to shift. Oftentimes we've been ingrained and programmed with some information that isn't as expanding, and these books tend to be very expanding. Not only that, but I do believe that as you open a book, whatever intention you set for that book, you will get out of that book. And so for people who are looking for something, they find it. No matter what, we create our reality, right? So I guess I intentioned all of this that I'm about to describe to you, but I ended up finding a book by Deepak Chopra. I'll leave a link to the book in the show notes and in the description of the video. The name of the book is The Way of the Wizard, 20 Spiritual Lessons for Creating the Life You Want. And I have it right here. So, funny thing is, those of you who have listened to the energy update already know that I actually channeled the wizard energy. And that completely comes from this book. I sat down to record and I set the books up first. I got into my place and I set the books on the shelf just because I was like, okay, I actually want to read through some of them before I give them to people, some of the ones I haven't read yet. And as I sat there, I thought, I think these books are here for a reason. Like, there's something in these books that's related to what I'm about to record. So as I sat down to think about what energy I wanted to bring through, I immediately was drawn back to the wizard. And I've actually never, I know I've kind of interacted with Merlin energy, but I don't think I've ever like 100% channeled like Merlin or wizard energy. And Deepak actually refers to Merlin. The whole book kind of tells a story interwoven with truths about wizards and about what wizard energy is. It's obviously an archetype and symbolic. The first letters of wizard, W-I-Z, are associated with the word wisdom, right? So the way that Deepak sees it, the wizard is an archetype or a symbol of the wisest part of us. Now, I believe we can tap into that energy and even collectively tap into that energy, and I have no problem connecting to Merlin, that specific individual energy, and I believe that's what I'll bring through. But it is really awesome to consider that you have a Merlin inside you, right? You have a Merlin inside you. I just want to take a moment before I do channel and bring through a message specifically for us from that energy to kind of point out some of the really cool truths or points. I guess he calls them lessons in the book that Deepak, I really honestly believe he channeled them, if you want to put it that way. I mean, we all have access to the wisdom and the collective consciousness. And that's what he brought through 100%. As I read through these lessons, I was just like amazed. So I highly encourage you to grab the book. It's actually kind of old. It was published in 1995. And again, it's one of his smaller books. I don't think it's very popular, but I am so glad I was drawn to it. So let me go ahead and read through some of these things, and I believe it'll kind of set us up for what I'm going to bring through, right? So here are the lessons. They're just kind of like bullet points, and I'll just run through them. The return of the magical can only happen with the return of innocence. And of course, if you listened to my energy update, you know exactly what about magic, and I brought that through. Okay, the next one is the essence of the wizard is transformation. I also talk about that, I think, in the energy update. I don't remember if I specifically remember. Yeah, I did mention alchemy. So that completely reminds me of alchemy. Okay, here's some more. The wizard watches the world come and go, but his soul dwells in realms of light. The scenery changes. The seer remains the same. That 100% goes with the energy update as well. He talked about the cycles of day and night and being in flow and just kind of going beyond time, right? So we sit in a place where it's beyond the passing of the days and the nights. The next one is your body is just the place your memories call home. Something to think about there, something we might talk about after I get going here with the channeled message. The next one is the wizard's consciousness is a field that exists everywhere. The streams of knowledge contained in the field are eternal and flow forever. Centuries of knowledge are compressed in revelatory moments. Have you ever had that happen? Oh my goodness, I have. It's crazy what kind of truth bombs get dropped in there when you're connected to the streams of knowledge, right? The collective consciousness wisdom. All right, the next one is we live as ripples of energy in the vast ocean of energy. Absolutely. I love that one. And then when the ego is set aside, you have access to the totality of memory. So many awesome lessons in there. And of course, there are 20. So you'll have to grab the book, or maybe I can do a second episode about this. But I think it would be really cool. I think I'm going to go ahead this week and take all 20 lessons and make a meditation. So if you guys hop on to my YouTube channel, I'll just put some music behind it and you can just have those lessons subconsciously enter your brain through the meditation. I'll just read them and put some music behind them. Super powerful. So as I sit in all of that amazing wisdom that flows in and around us, that comes from us, really. And that just kind of brings to my attention the fact that when I channel, I'm channeling myself. I'm channeling really the consciousness that we all are, the collective, right? That we're all part of. So we love this whole idea of separation on this planet, but in reality, it's all us. Just sit with that for a moment. Consider that. You are the speaker and the listener. You are the creator and the created. As we tap into the wizard energy of Merlin, I want you to bring into your mind whatever visual will help you access that, as you remember from my message from Queen Maeva, that an image is a portal. So begin to bring into your mind whatever movie comes into your mind when you see Merlin, right? You might see the wizard archetype that you learned in Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. All of those archetypes are 100% fine to connect to. Relax, relax, dear ones. You need not fear. I sense your fear of the power of the wizard. And that power, dear ones, is your power. Would you fear yourself? Would you fear the power which you possess and the power which you channel? Think about that for a moment as we drop into this wave of energy which you now feel come across your body. And begin to feel completely comforted by rising to a perspective which is beyond all time. I am Merlin. And I invite you to become familiar with this energy which you feel, so that you may access it at any moment in time. Draw your mind back to a time recently when you felt you needed some extra wisdom. Consider the problem or the conundrum which faced you. And as you sink into this flow of wisdom, If you have not yet come to a solution for that problem, I want you to allow that solution to drop into your mind right now. To see how quickly and how accessible that knowledge is. Dear ones, you do not need to look outside yourself for wisdom. For if there were one lesson which could be taught, as you know from the movies and the books, where myself or another wizard which represented this energy was present, you know that each time the wizard teaches the student that their wisdom lies within them. And there always comes a time when the student steps into that wisdom and becomes the master. There are so many stories, movies, which have been used to convey this fact. Some may be coming to your mind at this moment. You might chuckle when you see those characters pass through your mind's eye. Those characters are not outside of you. Those characters are you. If there were any message that I could bring through at this time, it would be to remind you of the personal power which lies within you. Many of you have been taught you are helpless. You are naive. You're a beginner. You're an imposter. You don't really know. I stand at this moment to tell you that is false. You are powerful. You are wise. You are the wisdom which you have been seeking. Take a breath, dear ones. Allow that truth to permeate your soul. Allow yourself to receive that message and to undo some of those false beliefs about what you are capable of, to fall away. You are the hero of your story. You have the strength. You have the magic. You have the capability of alchemizing anything around you to transform your life. Do not let others tell you differently. Begin to set boundaries to empower yourself. There is no shame in creating a distance from those who speak different beliefs about the power that you hold. You can choose not to co-create with them. Just as the wizards and the wise ones in the movies and the books that you read chose who their students were, chose where they were located, oftentimes separate and distanced, spending a great deal of time alone. You may choose to do the same, and there is no shame in that. You may choose to decide to separate yourselves from that energy which is not ready to be alchemized, and in turn embrace other energy, whether it be people, whether it be jobs, whether it be places that are ripe for transformation. Feel into that statement. What shifts you need to make at this moment? Do not be afraid of the answer, for wisdom is speaking. I leave you with this message. I leave you with an activation, an incantation. Kat inato sta anailato. Abo odo sta odo loto odo tani nudo toloto onodo toloto inato. Ado ono da odo loto onodo odo dadi uto titanodo. Receive. 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 Thank you, my friends. Thank you for forming this little community with me. Thank you for embracing the wisdom that you are. Today I leave you with the phrase, the wisdom in me honors the wisdom in you. Farewell.